we said the tilat habeged shekipla v'lo havat, right? That's the case. It was a tilat habeged that you folded over, but you didn't singe it. You didn't go ahead and light it yet before the Shabbat, before the Shabbat. It wasn't lit yet, and we say you can't. There's a machloket in the Mishnah whether you could use this garment that was folded over and not singed um, before the Shabbat. Can you use this as Shabbat wick? Meaning, if you would have singed it before Shabbat, what does singeing mean? You lit it and you blow it out, right? So if you lit and you blew it out, it lights beautifully, right? It prepares it now, it lights beautifully. But what about if you did not singe it? You folded you rolled the linen and you made it into a wick. Good morning, Asaf. But you didn't put the fire on it. So one says you can't use it. You can't use it for wick for Shabbat, and one says you can. So Gemara says the following: Rava Amma, we're on 29a. 29a1. It's about 10 line, like second or third paragraph. Rava Amma. The Rava says that he's offering a different approach. Why Rabbi Eliezer holds you cannot use a wick that was not singed before the Shabbat. Until now we said Rabbi Eliezer holds the problem is muksa, nolad, because we're talking about a very specific case that it's 3 fingers by 3 fingers, and if you light it, and you have to light the majority of the wick, and now the wick becomes less. The wick, which was the garment, now becomes less than 3 fingers by 3 fingers, and therefore now it's no longer a proper garment. And if it's no longer a proper garment, it's no longer a garment. Until now, it's a garment. Because when you fold it, he held it still not lose the status of a garment. So if it's a garment, and now you made it not a garment by lighting it, because it's now less than 3 fingers by 3 fingers. So now, if you keep on handling it, it's an issue of mukseh, and being involved with it after it left from the status of a garment to non-garment. The non-garment status is called nolad. It's a new, different status, and therefore that's mukseh. That was until now. Comes the Gemara, Rava is a more simpler approach. You have it, Simon?
Yep.
Rava Amma, you know what the reason of Tanner Rava Lezer why you can't use it? Because practical. It doesn't. The fire will not catch so easily. Isaac. The fire won't catch so easily to the wick. Here we have a wick. Here we have a fire. Isaac is fire. Isaac is, that Yitzchak is he went on the Mizbeach. It says the ashes of Yitzchak, even though he didn't happen in Hashem's book, he went on the Mizbeach, right? He sacrificed as if that we're going to have that on Rosh Hashanah. Allah, the Aforos of Yitzchak, Lazaro, it's a big schos. Yitzchak is a very big name, as we all know. So we said, Yitzchak, the Gemara says that the Mishnah has a machloket, a dispute. Can you use a garment a linen that you folded over, you rolled it, but you didn't light it with fire to singe it and then blow it out? Because if you light it with fire and singe it, that makes it easy for it to light in the future. So one opinion says if you didn't do that before Shabbat, you only folded it over, you didn't singe it, right, Asaf? That's not a good wick because it's not going to light well, and we're afraid if it doesn't light well on Shabbat, you might forget, you might come to adjust it on Shabbat to fix it. That's a big sin to adjust a wick on Shabbat. It's like one of the 39 malachot on Shabbat, you're not allowed to make a fire. So if you assist the fire on Shabbat, something not lighting well, and you fix it. So therefore, the rabbi said, according to Rabbi Eliezer, you can't use that wick. You can't. You have a wick in there. If you have a wick in your house that was not yet singed before Shabbat, you didn't put a fire on it before Shabbat, and then blow it out to make it very easily to burn as a good wick, you can't use it. The other opinion says it's not as he's not so concerned that you're going to come to adjust it.
You can blow out the fire
before Shabbat. No, but not on Shabbat. Before Shabbat, meaning by lighting it before Shabbat and blowing it out, that will prepare the wick. Now it will hold good. It will take because it will hold good as a good wick. So Rava Mahaina Tamar Beleza Fishaim Adlikin B'Ptila She'ina Mechorechet. I have to wait to the days of Slichot to have your honor. So I have to look forward. I think it's a great honor that you're here today. When Simon leaves next week, maybe we're gonna maybe we're gonna maybe you can, it's very very big shoes to fill.
But Rabbi, nobody can replace Simon.
Exactly. But the truth of the matter is, Isaac, nobody's replaceable.
Nobody can replace it.
Everybody is unique, and everyone has their own flavor and personality, and everyone brings different things to the table.
But Rabbi, personality stay in the family.
Okay, very good. We love the smiles. We love the joyfulness. So the Gemara says, what's its reason? You can't light with a wick that wasn't singed before the Shabbat, right? No blowing out on Shabbat. Like Isaac said, Rabbi, what's going on? You don't blow on Shabbat. You don't no blowing out on Shabbat. But before Shabbat, you need to prepare the wick properly. Morning, Ralph. And if you didn't do that, you can't use it, according to Rabbi Eliezer. Similarly, if you want to use some sort of rag cloth as a wick, you cannot do it unless it was singed, morning Ralph, singed before Shabbat and prepared properly, and therefore there's no concern you're going to come to adjust it. That's one of the reasons why we cover the fire on Shabbat. We have food on a fire on Shabbat. And we have like a blech. We have something that covers the fire. That also reminds us not to touch the knobs, and not to raise the fire, or do anything to the fire. We'll see more about that as we learn about that in the next chapter in the tractate. Ella, how did Rabbi Yosef? Rabbi Yosef said, he had a braita, that he says that the Mishnah is talking about shalosh misum samot. That the garment, this wick that we're talking about in the Mishnah, was a size of 3 fingers by 3 fingers. Let's say a finger, an inch, 3 inches by 3 inches or something. What is he telling us regarding what does he mean that this wick is 3 fingers by 3 fingers? What's the difference in the size of 3 fingers by 3 fingers or 4 fingers by 4 fingers? If you did not singe it, right? If you rolled a garment, a piece of linen, and it was 4 fingers by 4 fingers, and you didn't singe it before the Shabbat, so it doesn't make a difference. 3 fingers, 4 fingers. What is this? What is his intention by saying this? I mean, because the other opinion in the Mishnah said that because it had to do with the issue of nolad, right? The Gemara said before, something that's less than 3 fingers and 3 fingers, it's changed. The identity changes, and therefore it might be issue of mukseh. But here, but according to this opinion, it's what is the issue? What is the meaning of 3 fingers by 3 fingers?
The same thing you can say about size of betzah or size of zayit. What's the difference between size of zayit and less than zayit?
Right. Very good. Okay. So when it comes to certain halachot, let's say to say Birkat Hamazon,
Yes.
you have to have a kazayit. You have to measure.
Yes.
You have to eat a kazayit. You want to go ahead and make. You want to say you want al hamichya on a piece of cake or something, a pasta. You have to have a kazayit of pasta. You have to have. There's certain times you have to have a kazayit for to certain halacha in order for you to be obligated to say that bracha achrona. Right, for bracha rishona, for bracha on that coffee, any amount you have to say bracha before you drink. But when it comes to water, you say a bracha on a cup of water. You say bracha before any amount of water. But to say the bracha achrona, burn the fashot, you have to have 3 ounces of water. 3 ounces of water, in a short amount of time. But and also we said by tumah, in order for a garment, a wool or linen has to be a certain size in order for it to be able to receive contamination. If it's so negligent, if it's so small, it can't receive contamination. So the sizes make a difference in life there's many different, like we learned about, in order for a piece, a desired, an ounce of a dead body has the ability to contaminate. If it's less than an ounce, right, we spoke about size of a bean regarding sarat, leprosy. If there's a size, if there's a whitening, you have a spot that's a spot on the person's clothing or the person's body that's less than a bean, it'll be insignificant. They've all different sizes make a big difference.
You split the water milk inside
A pot. Right. Very good. Right. So if you have a pot of cholent, a pot of meat, and a drop of milk goes in, but if you have 60 times the amount of meat against the amount of milk, 60-1, you win. It becomes nullified. Right. You're not allowed to intentionally put the milk in. I want to give it a good flavor. I'll put a good whatever, it'll be very smooth. It'll go down very smooth with a little bit of milk, right? Even if you have 100-1, you can't intentionally go ahead and add some milk. If after the fact, the baby put his baby milk bottle and it's dripped into the pot, now we have to deal with it. But you can't intentionally do it, right? Right. So regarding tumah, the size also makes a difference. But regarding the question here of the Gemara is, the Mishnah says the Mishnah makes a statement about the wick that was folded and not singed, and also the Mishnah states that it's there's an argument whether you could use that or you can't use that. You could use that wick or not. And also the Mishnah stated that regarding tumah, there's an argument whether this receives contamination or doesn't receive contamination. This wick that was folded over, this garment that you folded over, is it susceptible to contamination or not? And we have a braita to say that the Mishnah is specifically talking about a size that's 3 fingers by 3 fingers. And until now, the Gemara had a question. The Gemara wanted to know, the Gemara wanted to know why did it say that it's specifically 3 fingers by 3 fingers? Let me take a look over here. I saw a commentary. So the Gemara's question is what is the meaning? And let's see over here. Maybe they say a nice idea. See, the Gemara said earlier that this idea of the 3 fingers by 3 fingers is not coming to tell us regarding the law of contamination. Why? Because if a garment that's 3 fingers by 3 fingers receives contamination, certainly a garment that's larger than 3 fingers by 3 fingers receives contamination. So what's the Gemara saying that the law of the Mishnah, that one opinion says that it receives contamination, it's specifically talking about 3 fingers by 3 fingers. If it's 3 fingers by 3 fingers, it receives contamination. Certainly, if it's more than 3 fingers. So why tell me the Mishnah is specifically talking about 3 fingers? If you're telling me that the Mishnah is talking about 3 fingers by 3 fingers, seems to say that this whole law is only by 3 fingers by 3 fingers. But the truth is, the law of contamination, if it's 3 fingers by 3 fingers, it can contaminate, like Simon said. Certainly more than 3 fingers by 3 fingers also contaminate. So why limit the? How could you say the Mishnah is talking specifically of 3 fingers by 3 fingers? So the Gemara says, you know what it's saying 3 fingers by 3 fingers? This is what it's coming to tell us. If you have a patch, the way they would stitch a patch is why is 3 fingers by 3 fingers? If you have a garment that's 3, you take a garment like a size like a little bit less than this, it can receive contamination because you use it as a patch. If it's too small, you throw it in the garbage. It cannot become contaminated. It's too small to become contaminated. It's insignificant. But if it's 3 fingers by 3 fingers, you use it as a patch. But the way they do a patch is they first fold it over, they make a hem, and then they stitch it. So by making the hem on the pad, on the hem folding over first, that makes the stitching hold very well I'm not a tailor. Maybe you can help us out a little bit, Isaac. But you're in the clothing industry. But it's great stuff. I've been at his store. You know that.
Yes.
We brought people there, and he's always so gracious when we come. Got to come more often. And what happened? And what happened is when we say 3 fingers wrapped by 3 fingers, does that mean after the folding of the hem on the patch and then the stitching, you still have left 3 fingers by 3 fingers? Or 3 fingers by 3 fingers is not including the stitch, the folding over the hem. And you have to have a garment would have to be more than 3 fingers by 3 fingers to patch because of the space of the hem. You have to have, so that's the Gemara says, the teachers know. 3 fingers by 3 fingers is even including the folding it over. It's the original size, even though it's going to come a little less, but as long as the original size, you started with a garment the size of 3 fingers by 3 fingers, that's enough to receive contamination.
Rabbi, they're talking about which finger?
Yeah. I think it refers to this finger, 3 fingers at this size.
This side.
Right, because this is called the godel. This is like the big thumb. But this is called this finger. So the Gemara says, Gimel al Gimel. The thing that we said that a size of a garment needs to be 3 fingers by 3 fingers, chutz min hamalav, not including the hem. The first opinion says it's not including the hem. It means 3 fingers plus the hem. However, Divrei Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Chachamim over, and the law for the Chachamim is Gimel al Gimel mechuvano. Exactly 3 fingers, like Simon said, as long as it had 3 fingers, the fact that it goes less by the result of a little bit of a hem that you make before you stitch it, it's still considered a significant size that the poor person will not throw in the garbage. And the fact that the poor person won't throw this piece of garment in the garbage gives it significance, even though the rich man is going to throw it in the garbage, but the poor person won't throw it in the garbage, it gives it significance. And because it has significance, it has the ability to receive contamination. You have certain laws. Let's say you're working on you're building something. You're building a utensil. If you didn't finish it, it can't receive contamination. It's not complete. It's not. It has no. In order for the certain laws to receive contamination, you have to be in a certain state of something. Usable state. Like right. If you're building something, I'm building this toy, whatever it is for the kids. You're building a toy for the kids to play with. Even though it's not a toy. It's not finished. So if a dead mouse touches it, it won't become contaminated. But once it's completed the toy, if it's complete, then it receives contamination. So here we have a similar concept that you need to have this garment that has to be something of significance you could use for something. You could use it for a patch. So the tailor, you'll save it. People rip their clothing. I need a patch. But if it can't even be used for a patch, again, it might be a small piece of material, but if it can't be used as a patch, it cannot receive contamination. I want to wish everyone now. We're on for Monday at 7:15. We'll be on Monday is now Isaac. Usually
I know because it's
Labor Day. Yes, 17. Ralph, I'll be on at 7:15 on Monday. Asaf will be 7:15 on Monday. All right. And we want to say hello to Sammy. It's live. You got Ralph Batesh. You got Asaf. Ralph is there. Ralph Simon. We're gonna say hello to everybody. All the best.